Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted Access, the GamerAccess.com's premier gaming news podcast. I'm your host, Bronze Fiore, joined by no one. It's going to be kind of a quick little soapbox week, as it has been recently, with no co-hosts or limited availability to grab co-hosts. It's been just me and these opinion pieces. Sorry to disappoint you all. This week is kind of a big piece of news. Reggie Fils-Aimé retires. For those of you who, for whatever reason, are listening to this podcast and don't know who Reggie was the president of Nintendo of America from 2004 until April this year when he retires. It's kind of weird to think of a game industry without him, just because, like, I started really following games coverage and who's who a little bit before Reggie kind of came on the scene. So Nintendo and Reggie have kind of been always linked in my mind, and he's been a great face for the company. Of course, all the memes, I think IGN did a top memes article on him, top 8 Reggie moments. There's one that was yeah, here it is. Top 8 Reggie moments of all time. That first E3 was like, I'm here to kick ass, take names, etc., etc. Just kind of a moment that really blew everyone away. Like, oh, this come from Nintendo. The kids game, seeing the president of Nintendo being like, "Hey, I say ass," in an era where that was not something they did, or really anything at all. Nintendo was very clean cut, very like, ooh, doo, doo. But no, they very much dropping the A bomb, along with, of course, not my problem. My body is ready. It's been 11 going on 12 years since that E3, and people are like still saying my body is ready. Like, the Reginator, like, okay. That one did probably stick as much, but, like, that was one. What's wrong with you? Like, to this day, I personally use this one. I think to save it to this PC. I never moved it over to this one. Um, like, it was just like, that was a fun one. Don't go to 3DS. What's wrong with you? Reggie fees a Mac, Puppet Reggie, and, recently his thank you and goodbye. And it is a real bummer to see him go, just because like he is the face of Nintendo, like in the States. Like, Japan is gonna have Miyamoto for however much longer he has, and of course we're gonna have and of course we're gonna still have uh, all the faces that we had from that Switch reveal who've gotten our mind, but like Reggie was kind of like the last link to like the Wii days of like Iwata, Miyamoto, and Reggie like popping out on stage and blowing your mind with Smash Bros. Brawl or some combination of that. I don't know how I'm going to handle this first E3 presentation without Reggie. I remember he put out his Kawaii video, and I was fairly choked up. It was really weird to see just like a guy who was working at, I think it was Pizza Hut, come in and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna lead Nintendo to the fucking promised land. Fuck all y'all." This giant of a man, and to be fair, he did. Like the Wii, every console with the exception of the Wii U, under his reign, did well. Like when he like from when new consoles started coming out, E3 2004, when he was just like, "Hey, fucking DS, gangbusters. Wii, one of the best systems of all time. 3DS, great. You know, uh, it's Switch. Like the Wii U is kind of the only real blemish on his resume, and even that thing has some great, has some really great, has some great games on it. Um, and yes, he was there for the end of the GameCube era, but it's like, he was brought in to bring some attitude to Nintendo, a little bit of edge. And I think he did. I think that was, like, you could tell, like, during his presentations, like, like he liked the idea of Nintendo just being kind of like giving little jabs at the competition, just like, hey, fuck you, and them not being able to say much really, like, because like, oh, it's Nintendo, they're in a different market, like da 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 da. So yeah, no. Uh, Finally, the new president is a Mr. Doug Bowser. He's been a protege under Registry the past couple of years. He's worked with the company forever. And I hope that he comes out with his own weird style. Um, if anything, it's been with the passing of the great Satoru Iwata a few years back, and now this retirement, and the probable upcoming retirement of a Mr. Miyamoto. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how Nintendo goes into the future. Because like, for like these guys from like 2003 to like, the past few years were like they were like the dudes making the calls, calling the shots, and to come out here and be like, no, 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 it's this new guy named Doug Bowser who's been at the company forever, but you kind of just didn't actually know him. It's like it's all these young guys now working on Mario with like light supervision. All these young guys working on Zelda with some light supervision and Enuma, and so on and so forth. I'm very interested to see where they go into the future because the Switch has had such a strong start. Like Splatoon 2, killer. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, two of the best games I've ever played. Smash Ultimate, the best Smash Bros. You know, great ports of Wii U games, and we're getting a new Mario Maker this year, and we're getting a new Animal Crossing, and hopefully that new Pokemon. It's just like it's been a system that's just really been on fire. I can honestly say I've been playing my Switch in some capacity in every possible way since since it came out. Really, yeah, the first couple months were kind of slow because like okay, it launched with Zelda, and then I finished Zelda, and I really didn't have much till Splatoon 2. But like that holiday season it hit hard, and I was playing stuff. And that continued to being last year when they ported Night in the Woods and then Bayonetta and like all these other ports and new games. And like I've said it before, I'll say it again, ports matter more on the Switch. The reason is because it's a portable system. So like if this thing was just a home console and they moved Bayonetta 2 over, it'd be like, okay, whatever, that's cool. I can play it on my Wii U. It's fine. Well, at the fact that I can go, oh no, I get this on the go now, that's a game changer. Um, I think that I wish Reggie well in retirement. Glad he can go hang out with his kids. Glad he can go do his thing. He'll be in a meme for all eternity. I don't think there will be a single E3 without someone go, "Hey, my body is ready," or something from him. It's just a shame that we couldn't get him a little longer. And the times are changing in the industry, and it's just not out for Nintendo. We saw what happened to Blizzard last year with with Morheim leaving and Metzen leaving, and Sony has had people leave throughout the years, and it's going to be very interesting over these next decade to see if the new guard lives up to the old guard because they do have a lot to live up to. I mean, like straight up, like you look at a game. Oh, excuse me. Like you look at everything Nintendo did from like 2003 to like present. Those are some big shoes to fill. Same thing with Blizzard. It's like you look at everything Blizzard did from like 1992 to 2000 and um 2000 and 2017, like lots of great stuff. So, Reggie, I wish you all in retirement. If you stumble across this for some reason, and everybody will be back next week with more news. Bye.